Today I'm going to be walking you through a Q4 business audit to get you set up for the biggest and simplest quarter yet in your business. So we're going to be walking you through exactly where you're at right now, just auditing everything in your business, figuring out what is working, what is not working, and what actually needs to shift to make this next quarter incredible for you. This is not just about telling you what you need to add and what you need to do more of to audit your business. This is also about telling you where you need to drop some things, where some things are not serving you anymore, and where some things are just not getting you results to make sure you can actually simplify and actually be spending less time on the business, but get better results at the same time. This is my specialty. This is exactly what I do with my clients, helping them to actually make more and work less at the same time. So I'm gonna be taking you through the audit I would take you through if you were my one-to-one client to actually get you set up for Q4 and get you set up to make this really simple and also really big and actually be able to achieve all of your goals as well. So I'm gonna be walking you through a few key areas of your business and just asking you a few questions to really figure out what needs to be improved, what needs to be shifted, and what needs to be dropped as well in this area, because there are probably so many areas you are really wasting your time right now. Things are just not really getting you the results you want. There are also things that could be done better, need to be shifted a little bit to make this just really aligned for you and also just help you move closer to your goals as well. So if you are ready for an incredible Q4, making this truly your biggest months in business yet, and also really, really simple and ease-filled as well, then this is the audit for you. So have a think as I'm going through these different questions, what is really coming up for you, make any notes if you're needing to, and definitely make sure you like this video as well if you are liking the more tangible audit style videos. Okay, so the first bit I want to look at is the very foundation of your business, and this is the offers. So the programs, the courses, whatever it is that people are actually purchasing from you. So what services or products are they actually getting? And this can be a really helpful area to just look at to see, is this feeling aligned? Looking at your suite currently and looking at where your focus is being spent across this product suite, is this feeling aligned for you of just where your time and energy is going? i.e., are you noticing that you're spending a lot more time in one area than you're actually wanting to and a lot more focus on selling one offer? Is one offer taking a lot more time from you as well? And you're seeing that actually, you know what, I'm not making much income from this, but it's a membership and I'm needing to spend hours and hours every single week on this, for example. And is this feeling worth it for you? So have a look around your offers of just seeing as well what is really feeling aligned in terms of the actual delivery and in terms of the time you're spending and energy you're devoting towards each offer. And at the same time as this, you can really look at what is actually selling the best as well. So if you have goals for Q4, which I imagine you do if you're watching this video, of wanting to, increase income, increase your number of clients, just grow to some extent, then actually looking at which offer is selling the simplest right now and which offer makes the most sense for you to be focusing on when it comes to Q4. If you look at how much time you're actually spending on each offer, on selling that, on delivering that offer versus the income you're getting from that, does that make sense for you? Are you maybe wanting to streamline and cut a few offers? Or instead, this can sometimes be the better option, are you just wanting to say for Q4, I'm gonna specifically focus on this one or these two offers and really put your time and energy into the ones which are gonna move you forward the most? Because for example, if you can see that I have a course which is $200 versus a coaching program which is $5,000, we can see that one sale of that coaching program would be, I won't work out the math here, but many, many, many course sales, right? So it actually makes a lot of sense for you to be saying, I'm going to be focusing on the coaching program, for example, knowing that actually that's going to be a lot simpler for me to focus on. And if I make one or two sales there, that's probably going to surpass anything that I would make from the course as well, depending on audience size, of course, but it's maybe just a simpler, easier area for you to focus on if you're wanting to notice that I'm wanting to work less and also increase my income at the same time. So have a look over your offers and really challenge yourself to see, is there an area I want to streamline or just strip this back a little bit or just get a little bit more focused with where my time and energy is going because of what I'm selling then? And this is as well where that question comes in of actually doubling down on what is working for you. And we're going to be going through that theme throughout this of actually, if you can see that one thing is working really, really well for you, I want you to double down that. I want you to spend more time in that area. And then that leads us perfectly into the second part of this audit, and that is audience growth. So where are new people in your audience coming from? And ask yourself this question again of what is actually working for this at the moment? Where are most new people coming in from? Can I double down on that? And can I scrap the things which I've been, trying out, but it's not really bringing new people in right now, unless it's obviously a long-term thing which we're building, in which case maybe we're not prioritizing that over the next 3 months. But really have a look at, are you spreading yourself too thin across multiple offers and multiple platforms as well? Because I think these are the two biggest things that keep people stuck and just feeling unfocused as they're going through their business. They're just focusing on lots of different things, in which case we're not really focused on anything. We're just doing lots of different things. So actually take a look as well at your audience growth and where are new audience members coming from, where are new people following you from and connecting with you, and can we get a little bit more focused here? Can we look at what is working and cut what isn't working there too? And the third section here is leads. So where are your leads actually coming from right now? Where are you actually getting ideal clients reaching out and saying, hey, I'm your ideal client, and actually being interested in what you're offering? Where are you getting those people coming from? And again, double down on what is working here, but also, do you have a clear system for generating consistent flows of this? Because if you can see that most of your leads have come from one specific place or one specific thing you did, or one specific strategy, for example, then actually, yes, we want to double down on that, but also can we make that consistent? For example, if we're seeing that actually every time we do a masterclass, we'll get some signups or we'll get some leads from that. Can we do a masterclass every 3 months, for example, or every 2 months, and make this something which is routine, knowing that then we're going to be getting leads every 2 or 3 months when we do those masterclasses? So actually looking at what's working here, but also can we make this really consistent, because that's going to be the thing which makes it really consistent and sustainable for you in terms of the business and then the business income that comes from those leads. So have a look over this leads section as well and see, where are people coming from right now? Where are they not coming from, but I'm trying to get them, aka it's not really working at the moment for me? And then where do I need to double down and focus? And can I make this more consistent? And then this really comes down to that fourth section of that sales process, aka how are we taking those leads and actually making sales from this? So have a quick audit of this as well and see, okay, how does that process look? Are we actually converting people well at the moment? What's that looking like? Are we feeling like the DM conversations are taking way too long? Do we need a better process in place there? Are people actually filling out the application form? Have a look at that process and just kind of look through and see, where are people dropping off and where are we maybe needing to tighten things up or shift things a little bit. We want that process to, yes, work, of course, but secondly, just be really simple for you and be something that you can actually execute on and you can repeat as well. So look at how you can just simplify this process to make it really easy for yourself and also for people to go through this sales process of potentially working with you. Now, section 5, we're going to be talking about marketing and messaging then for that piece. And I want you to look back and see, of all the marketing you've been doing, it's probably content to some extent if you're watching this. I know a lot of people in my space tend to do content, but what has really been resonating the most with your audience? What has been getting you the biggest results? AKA people reaching out, interested in your work, people resonating with this type of content. What has actually been working there for you? And have a look through your analytics for this. You can see really nicely there, but also just from when you know that people have reached out and inquired, for example, what actually got them to inquire? What is it they say? And you can ask them if you don't know. What is it they actually say is the thing that made them reach out to you? What is the thing that actually got them interested there? And just really reflect here on what posts, what emails are actually working well for you so you can do more of these things when we go into quarter 4 then. And this is a perfect audit opportunity for your marketing, because you'll probably see that there are equally some areas which aren't really doing much for you at the moment. Maybe some pieces of content you created which really weren't landing, people really weren't resonating. These are the types which just are not really doing much for you. And these are the things which we can again cut. We can really cut back on. We can maybe drop completely, but leaning into then those areas which are working, the things which did get the clients, which did get the traction, and just doing more of those things is the game here. And then the 6th part, which I want you to look at, and this is the thing which no one is going to tell you in an audit. And this is why the other sections, there's small questions to ask, yes, but I think this is the piece which is the bow that ties it all together. And that is your time and energy. Where is this going? Because if you're a solopreneur, even if you have a VA or something like that, but you are the one leading this business, you are the one running this, you're the one doing the client delivery, discovery, doing a lot of this marketing. You're the one doing a lot of pieces here. So where your time and energy is going matters, because we have a limited amount of this. We only have 24 hours in a day, and we need to sleep and have a social life and do all other things. But we only have a limited number of hours here, and we only have so much energy to put into things. And we want to make sure that things we are doing, we have the best energy for, right? So actually have a look at where are you spending your time in your business, and do a quick audit of this. If you just look, and you can track if you want for the average week of where does your time actually go in working hours. So in the total time that you're spending working in your business, whether that's 4 hours a day, 6 hours a day, 8 hours a day, the time that you're spending in your business, what are you doing in that time? How much of that time is spent on creating content? How much of that time is spent on client work? How much of that time is spent on sales actions? And just check if that's aligned, because if you can see that you're spending 60% of your time in content, but your content is not where your clients are really coming from most of the time, we need to do some switching here. And this is just really helpful to see where we need to be more strategic with your time and energy, and just ask yourself the question of, is it really moving the needle for you? Because you're probably gonna see that by auditing your time right now, even if you've done this before, you're gonna see some areas where actually it's not really connecting as much, it's not really moving the needle forward, and some areas where, you're not really getting any results from this, and you're kind of just doing it because you decided you should months ago, or someone told you this would be really helpful, but it's not actually been helpful for you. So take a look over where you actually need to be spending your time, what is actually going to be helpful for you, and just get strategic with your time and energy. This is, as I said, the bow which really ties it all together, because this is the thing that makes everything else possible. If you don't have this, we can't do all of those other things. We can make the plans where we're focusing with sales, marketing, all of those, but we don't have the time and energy to be doing that if we don't actually have the time and energy. So actually starting with this as well is so powerful, of looking through this area. Once you've figured out the others of the plan of where we want to be spending the time and how we're going to be shifting things from this audit, actually having a look over, okay, practically how much time do I have? How much energy do I have? Where is this going right now? Where do I need to cut some of this so that I can actually act on this plan and actually action this? So those are the questions that I would ask you, and those are the areas I would focus on for a mini audit for you, of essentially just where are you putting your focus in Q4? What is working, what is not working, and what is your game plan moving forward to have your simplest and biggest quarter yet? And this is really here to help you have a really big Q4, but also just a lot of freedom at the same time to actually really unlock your time and energy, so you can finally get focused on what actually matters and what is actually going to move the needle for you. So you can, again, just have the freedom that does come with that focus, and really build a business that works for you and is really simple and actually gives you the life that you wanted and that you started this for in the first place. So I would love to know your takeaways in the comments from this. Make sure you give this video a like if you found this helpful. And if you are looking to really shift how you're doing things in Q4, really get simplified and get strategic with your business and actually build the freedom-focused lifestyle business that you started this for in the first place, I would love to work with you inside one-to-one coaching. If you go to the link in the description, you can schedule a free discovery call with me to talk about that. We'll talk more about your business, where you're at, what your goals are at the moment, and how I could potentially support you with this. And also, if you apply right now, if you go and schedule that discovery call, then you will also get added to your one-to-one package as a completely free bonus, a Q4 planning session with me, where we will be literally mapping out your Q4 to make sure you are really hitting the ground running and seeing some really big shifts in how you run your business, and also the income which you're generating consistently from this too. So make sure you go to the link in the description to schedule your discovery call with me, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. If you found this video helpful, again, make sure you give it a like, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss new videos every single Monday, and I will see you in the next one.